Alright, so, anybody get the first one done?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a simple substitution and then an addition, right? So what'd you get?
I got 3x squared plus 2x.
3x squared plus 2x is perfect. Alright, the second one, f of x minus g of x, all you do is substitute in the equations and then you subtract, right? So we get 3x squared plus 4 minus 2x plus 4. So when you group up your like terms, you get 3x squared minus 2x plus 8. Alright, so all I want you to do is I want you to substitute. So what's f of x actually equal to? 3x squared plus 4. So that's f of x minus g of x, which is? Right. So what's the number in front of this set of parentheses? What's the number in front of this set? So you distribute, and you get 3x squared plus 4 minus 2x plus 4. Group your like terms, and you get 3x squared minus 2x plus 8. So the first half of today's lesson, as far as what your homework's going to be on, is just simply this. You're going to be adding, subtracting, and multiplying and dividing, but instead of me giving you the functions already put in, I'm going to be giving it to you in function notation. So in the directions, it's going to say f of x, g of x, h of x, and then you're going to have to find f plus f, or f plus g, or g minus f, or whatever they tell you. And you just substitute the equation in for the function notation, and then you just do your regular math. So we're going to take our f, and we're going to multiply it with g. So f of x is 3x squared plus 4, so that's this piece. And you just put it into parentheses, times g of x, which is 2x minus 4, so that goes into its own set of parentheses. And now we get rid of parentheses. So now this is exactly what I showed you in chapter 5. Is I gave you these and I said, perform the indicated operation. So what's 3x squared times 2x? 6x cubed, 3x squared times negative 4, negative 12x squared, and then plus 8x minus 16. And that's it. Nothing else can group. You have gotten rid of your parentheses. You know. This entire section is all about notation, man. It's just going to look different, but it's done the exact same way as stuff we did in chapter 5. The only thing that's new today really is called compositions, and it's just a direct substitution. But instead of substituting in a number, you're substituting in an entire equation. So this is what you get as a final answer, right? 6x cubed minus 12x squared plus 8x minus 16. Yep, the last one, we have a division, right? What do you notice? Which piece is the numerator, the f or the g? The f is the numerator, so what's the denominator? G. What do you notice about g? It's a what? When I divide, I like this type of denominator because it means I can use synthetic division. What do I want the denominator to be? A linear equation. Is this linear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do I have to do with it, though? Set it equal to what? 0. So x equals, how do you get x by itself there? Add 4, divide by 2. So what's 4 divided by 2? 2. So I get a 2 in the box. The numerator, I get a 3. I get a 0 because there's no x term. I get a 4 because that's my constant, right? How do I use synthetic division? What do I do? Drop the 3. 3 times 2 is add, multiply, add. This is my remainder, constant, x. Reconstitute, and your answer is 3x plus 6 plus 16 over 2x minus 4. Again, these operations hopefully are not difficult, seeing how this is all from chapter 5. The only thing that's new is I am telling you, using function form, what I want you to do as far as the operation goes. All right, so you're going to have to read the directions carefully because the f, g, h functions are up in the directions. Okay? And you'll use those equations for the entire section. So up next, f composite g and g composite f. So you'll hear me talk about fog and goff, foff and gog. Okay, fog is f composite g, goff is g composite f. Now this isn't an O and it's not a 0. It's like the degree mark. You know when you write like 77 degrees Fahrenheit? It's like the little superscript, little o, it's that size. So you notice I made it look really small. That's what you want. So this stands for composite. That's what this symbol here stands for. So in general, who knows, what's a composite? Just in general, what does that phrase mean? Nobody here plays hockey? Yeah, what's a composite? Yeah, it's where you have a compound, right? Which means that you have more than one piece shoved together. So here, instead of substituting a number into the equation, we're substituting an entire equation in for a variable, okay? So we're going to start off with the outside function. So f is going to be our primary function, and our inner function is going to be our secondary function. So f composite g really means f of g of x. So what I want you to notice here is, what's my outside function? F. So this is what I'm working with, is I'm going to be working with f. So this is read as g of f of x. Okay, and it's important as to whether the function is an inside function or an outside function. Okay, so up here on top we have f of g of x, and if you notice here I have f of x, correct? Everybody okay with that language? So if I have my f's, what am I substituting in place of x? What am I substituting down here? Right, the entire function g. So what that means is I'm going to take f, and everywhere I see an x in f, what do I replace it with? Right, g of x. So I'm going to take my f function, and instead of putting in the number, I'm going to put in the letters g of x squared plus 4, just like that. Everybody okay with what's going on here, though? So all I'm doing is I'm taking my function f. Wherever I see x, I replace it with g of x, but I make sure that I put it in parentheses so that way all my powers get sorted out. All right, so now what is my g of x function? So I replace g of x with the 2x minus 4, like that. And now I have to write it in simplest forms. So that means that I want it in standard form, and I want all the parentheses gone. So the first thing that I'm going to do, well, you tell me, what is the first thing I need to do to write this in a more simplistic form? So you just got to be careful here, because the 2x, the entire thing is being squared, right? So you get the 4x squared, but then you got the middle piece, right? You guys always forget the middle. You tend to write those out as like, oh, that's 4x squared minus 16, but remember, it's FOILing. So that's the f and the l, but you've got an o and an I to deal with. So you remember, like last chapter, we were dealing with, like, if we had a cubed plus b cubed, you use this formula, right? Okay, we have a similar formula for quadratics. It says that if you have a plus b squared, this becomes a squared, which you guys are awesome at, plus 2ab, which is a part that a lot of you forget. You forget that middle term. You might want to. Plus b squared. So a lot of you do the a squared and the b squared, but you completely forget about that middle. So to find the middle term, all we do is take a times b and then multiply it by 2. Okay? So if we go back to the problem that we've got, what's negative 4 times 2x? Negative 8x. And then multiply that by 2, and what do you get? Negative 16x. Okay, so that's that middle term that a lot of you forget about. And then what's negative 4 squared? Plus 16. Everybody okay with where this piece came from? So, what do we do now to get rid of the parentheses? And sorry, my eyes are kind of running together with all this blue up here. So, let me make a change. There we go. Absolutely. So 12x squared minus 48x plus 48 plus 4, and then group up your like terms and get 12x squared minus 48x plus 52. I know that was a good amount of work, but that is what your actual composite will look like. So when you form composites, you do have to perform all of your simplification stuff, okay? You want your final answer to be in standard form, no parentheses, because I have to get rid of the set of parentheses. So I distribute the 3 in, and then I group up my like terms, which there's only 2, 48, and 4. So, take a deep breath for a moment. I want you to try golf. Golf is a lot more straightforward for this problem. Okay, so I want you to give it a shot. I will get up and running in a minute, but I want to give you guys a running shot at it. So try to figure out and see if you can perform the substitution to find g of f of x. All right, so which function is outside here? F or g? G, so I'm going to take G everywhere I see X and G, I'm going to replace it with the F. Whoops. Minus 4. But my F function is in fact equal to 3x squared plus 4. And then I just have to get rid of parentheses, right? So you get 6x squared plus 8 minus 4, which is then 6x squared plus 4. And you're done. All right, so the last thing that I actually want to cover before we try to get into some homework is, what if I give you something like this? So which function is inside here? G. So I've got G of 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start off by finding out what is G of 3 as an actual value. So which function am I working with? G. So what am I replacing X with? 3. So this is just like an old school chapter 1 direct substitution. So I take my function G, everywhere I see X, I replace it with the number 3. Well, what's 2 times 3? Minus 4. 2. So G of 3 is actually equal to what? 2. So now I can substitute up here and get F of 2, because that's what G of 3 actually stands for. G of 3 is equal to 2, so F of G of 3 is actually the same thing mathematically as just F of 2. Everybody all right? So now what's the function that I have? F, and what am I putting in place of X? 2, so I write my F everywhere I see X, replace it with 2. And then I evaluate, what's 2 squared? 4 times 3 plus 4. 16. So F of G of 3 is 16.